And welcome back to the Magic Table. And we are having our continuation of our series on stoves. And this is part 2. And in part 2, we are going to talk about the integrated canister system. Now, integrated canister system takes fuel canisters like this. And there is a difference between these two fuels. This is propane butane mix, and this is isobutane. Propane isobutane. That isobutane makes a big difference in how the stove performs once the temperature drops. This will, for summer, spring, early fall, it's fine. It's Coleman, it's fine. You can find it at Walmart. Easy to find. But it's not going to work as well for you when the temperature drops. And generally, even though you can find this isobutane at Walmart, finding propane isobutane is hard. It's very hard. You have to either be in an outdoor town, a town along Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, or you have to be in the city and live where there's an REI. It is really, really hard to find these canisters. I'm getting kind of tired of finding them, but they work with my wind burner. You all know how I love my wind burner. We did a video with cooking with the wind burner. So basically, is you just screw it right on there. Right on there. I think we need to move back some. Let's move back some. Okay, let's move back some. Okay, and then you just open the valve, and then on the wind burner there is an indicator light, a wire. It's an indicator wire, and when that wire turns red, you know that the stove is ready. But this has a radiant burner head, meaning instead of a single flame that shoots up, this has a radiant burner. This whole burner head is going to heat up, and it's going to heat up your pot. Then you just set your pot on there. You can boil your water in here, or if you remember from a past video that I have a other system where it has a kind of like a cable, and it comes out here, and this burner sits offset, and you can put on a frying pan. They have a frying pan, a cook pot, a stock pot even. Really, really versatile. So what I like about the integrated canister system, that is very easy. It's no muss, no fuss. It's more efficient. MSR is the king of outdoor stores. They're the pioneers in outdoor stoves. You cannot get a finer stove than MSR. This wind burner, it is an excellent stove. There's also Jetboil. Honestly, I've had 3 Jetboils and I give them all away for various reasons. I have this wind burner now. It's not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. But this is a very, very efficient stove system. It's very easy to use, very easy to set up. Not a lot of fuss factor. The drawback is the availability of the fuel canisters, and depending on your fuel mixture, the performance of the stove at low temperatures will start to suffer. I was on a winter camping trip one time, and everybody was bringing their Jetboils, and they all froze. Everybody's Jetboils froze. Couldn't get them lit. The people who had the MSR liquid fuel stoves that we're going to talk about in part 3, they had fuel. They had fuel, and they had hot water and hot coffee and hot oatmeal, and when it was cold. So while this is a very nice fuss-free stove system, there's only 2 little drawbacks. This would be good to have I like to have a couple stove systems in case one fails. I've got another backup. When I used to day hike a lot out in the wilderness, out in the real wilderness, I always took a stove with me, because if I had to spend an unexpected night out, I could always be assured that I could have some hot water at least. I could boil water. And in winter conditions, if I was out snowshoeing, I could melt snow and get water out of it. So that's why I always carried a stove with me. And that's why I've developed kind of a stove fetish. I am always want to have a very solid, reliable stove when I'm out boondocking, camping, backpacking, hiking, RV parking, wherever. Okay, so this is the integrated canister stoves, and now we are going to talk about another stove system in our next video. And another stove that I have that I really like is the MSR Pocket Rocket 2. This thing is a feat of engineering. This is a takeoff on the original Pocket Rocket that's been around again for decades. It has arms that fold up here. But this is a very compact, very efficient stove. This is a stove that would usually take on hiking trips with me. I just nested in my titanium pot right here with a canister of fuel, and I'd be ready to go. Okay, so all you do here for this stove is make sure the fuel is closed. Always when you have to put this wire around to put it up there, and then when you're ready to set it up, just turn that wire to close the fuel line so you're not spraying fuel all over. Okay, so we're going to thread it on here, and really they say to use MSR fuel, but you can use, as long as it has this valve, as they call the Lindell valve, but these type of canisters, you can use any type of canister. You can use MSR, Snow Peak, Jetboil, Primus. It doesn't matter. Even the Walmart Coleman things. It's just that remember, when you're going down in temperature, the type of fuel mixture has to be top of the line, or else you're going to suffer some performance when you're getting really cold temperatures. Okay, so it sets up like that. Turn on the fuel. And there it goes. Very simple. And this is, and you can tell it's a Pocket Rocket, it's kind of loud. But let me tell you something, this thing is a simmering monster. Let's turn this down. See that? It's still hot, but it can simmer. That's what the good thing of this is. It has a little tiny integrated windscreen effect there. Because you don't want to put a windscreen around this. If you put this around this canister, it could cause the canister to explode. You absolutely do not want exploding canisters, along with burning vans. Do not want that. So you want to leave that like this, and all you need to do, you have your titanium pot, your long-handled spoon, heat up some water, heat up some ramen, heat up some Mountain House, and you are eating. Just like that. This stove is small enough, you can just toss this in your bug out bag, your drawer, someplace where when you need a stove, something failed, you have an equipment fail, you can get to the stove and you can be having something hot. The Pocket Rocket 2 is a very nice stove. They now have the Deluxe Pocket Rocket Deluxe. It has like a little sides up here, and I think they did some tweaking with the stove supports there. But these are very good stoves. They're very efficient. They're little guys here, but boy, they really perform. Very nice systems. Now, whether you should light these stoves in the van, people say they do. I personally would not do that. They let out carbon monoxide, they let out flame. With that whisper light, you definitely do not want to light that stove in an enclosed vehicle. You will be burnt to a crisp. Your van will be burnt to a crisp. You and all your stuff will be burnt to a crisp. Do not try it in an enclosed vehicle. This one, if you want to try it, you have to just decide about your own comfort level. I would not recommend it. Stoves like this, just use them outside. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to move on to part 3 with our liquid fuel stoves.